Something profound is stirring right beneath the surface of our collective awareness. A powerful undercurrent that I genuinely believe most people haven't quite grasped the magnitude of yet. There's an undeniable energy thrumming in the air, a palpable shift that has felt like it's been simmering for weeks, steadily intensifying, getting hotter and more urgent with each passing day. And mark my words, on April 23rd, this potent energy is poised to reach its absolute boiling point. We are talking about the Leo first quarter moon, an event that, on the surface, might simply register as just another moon phase in your mind. But I need you to understand, this isn't just any ordinary lunar occurrence. This pivotal moment is unfolding at the precise intersection of some of the most intense, life-altering planetary shifts we will witness throughout the entire year. If you've been feeling this restless, almost electric charge building within you, a sensation like an invisible current pulling you towards something monumental, something significant you can almost taste but can't quite articulate yet, then know this. There is a very specific cosmic reason for that undeniable pull. And truthfully, I've been feeling it too, deep in my bones. It's an ancient knowing, an internal siren song, signaling that an immense shift is upon us, the version of me, the version of you that has perhaps chosen to play it safe, to dim its own light, to stay small, or to perpetually wait for external permission. That particular iteration simply won't be able to cross the threshold into what's coming next. It's time for a radical evolution. Now, if you've recently found yourself grappling with sudden, inexplicable urges to completely dismantle your routine, or if you've been feeling unusually confrontational with individuals who would typically never ruffle your feathers, I implore you to lean in and truly stay with me on this journey. There's a very precise astrological mechanism at play, and I'm going to meticulously break down exactly why you're experiencing these impulses. But before we delve into the intricate dance of the planets, I need to underscore why April 23rd specifically stands as such an unequivocally pivotal moment. This Leo first quarter moon isn't operating in isolation. It's merely the visible trigger point, the initial spark that ignites a massive, inescapable cosmic chain reaction. And what I'm about to unveil, I believe, has the power to completely reshape and redefine how you approach not just the next 48 hours, but potentially the entire trajectory of your life. You've undeniably been sensing this restless, insistent fire building deep within your spirit. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. Something has felt fundamentally different lately, hasn't it? You might not have been able to pinpoint the exact source, but there's been this relentless growing restlessness. A profound internal declaration that you are utterly done waiting, done hiding, done perpetually shrinking yourself and dimming your magnificent light just to accommodate the comfort levels of other people. And here's my unwavering conviction about what's truly happening. You are not imagining this. This isn't just some random frustration bubbling up, nor is it merely the fleeting, vibrant energy of spring. I wholeheartedly believe that your very soul has been meticulously preparing, patiently gathering its strength for this precise moment. Because the Leo first quarter moon on April 23rd is more than just an alignment. It is a cosmic permission slip, emblazoned with starlight, granting you the absolute right to finally unequivocally step into your inherent power without apology, without hesitation, and without a single backward glance. But its significance stretches even further. Consider this. The entire first half of April was overwhelmingly dominated by an intense, almost ferocious Aries energy. If you've been even remotely tuned into the cosmic currents of astrology, you know we experienced a colossal stellium in Aries. The Sun, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron, all piled together in this warrior, trail-blazing fire sign. This confluence created an almost irresistible massive push to initiate new endeavors, to fiercely fight for what you deeply desire, and to bravely break free from whatever restrictive chains have been holding you captive. The challenge, however, with pure Aries energy is its inherent impulsiveness. It's that exhilarating initial spark, that intoxicating burst of motivation, but it doesn't always possess the necessary staying power. You know the feeling. It's like lighting a match, brilliantly bright, intensely hot, and immediately impactful. But it burns out just as quickly if it doesn't manage to catch onto something solid, something enduring. That, my friend, is precisely where this Leo moon triumphantly enters the cosmic stage. Leo is also a fire sign, yes, but crucially, it is fixed fire. It's not the fleeting match. It's the roaring bonfire, the warm, comforting hearth, the life-giving, indomitable sun itself. This Leo moon takes that initial fierce Aries spark, that surge of motivation and courage, and transforms it into something truly sustainable, something profoundly powerful, something utterly unstoppable. Does that distinction resonate with you on a deeper level? So if you've been experiencing a deep-seated frustration these past couple of weeks, feeling like you possess an abundance of raw energy and unyielding drive, yet you haven't quite been able to channel it into something lasting, something tangible, then April 23rd is the cosmic switch. This is when all those disparate pieces finally click into their rightful place. This is when the fire within you ceases its flickering and begins its magnificent, unbridled roar. The timing of this moon is nothing short of absolutely wild, almost surreal. Okay, so here's where the narrative truly becomes electrifying, and I need you to grasp this with every fiber of your being, because the precise timing is not just important, it is absolutely crucial. The Leo first quarter moon culminates at exactly 10,003 at night on April 23rd, Eastern Time. That is the precise, breathtaking moment when the moon in fiery Leo forms a sharp, challenging 90-degree angle to the sun in grounded Taurus, creating what astrologers intently refer to as a crisis of action. This isn't a passive energy, it's a celestial demand for movement, for decisive choice. But here's the clandestine detail, the profound layer of cosmic orchestration that almost no one is talking about, but which fundamentally changes everything. Just a mere 34 minutes before that exact lunar square reaches its peak, Venus, the planet of love, money, values, and what we cherish, will merge in a potent conjunction with Uranus, the planet of sudden change, revolution, breakthrough, and liberation. And this explosive meeting occurs at the very last, most critical degree of Taurus. When I say the very last degree, I mean precisely 29°59'59. The absolute precipice. In the ancient wisdom of astrology, this 29th degree is known as the anaretic degree. It is universally recognized as a point of absolute culmination, of profound crisis, and of definitive finality. It's the universe's last stand, the ultimate breaking point. Consider the immense implications. Venus governs our affections, our financial stability, our deeply held values, what we deem beautiful, and what we are inherently attracted to. Uranus, on the other hand, is the quintessential disruptor, the cosmic lightning bolt that brings sudden, unforeseen changes, radical breakthroughs, and undeniable liberation. And these two immensely powerful planetary forces are colliding at the absolute final moment, literally seconds before both of them depart. The comfort-seeking, security-driven sign of Taurus and surge into the fast-moving, mentally electric and adaptable sign of Gemini. This isn't just an astrological alignment. This is the universe itself leaning in, gazing directly into your soul, and delivering an emphatic, non-negotiable message. Okay, last call. The doors are about to close on this chapter. Whatever you've been clinging to that no longer genuinely serves your highest good, be it a stagnant relationship, an unfulfilling job, a detrimental habit, or a limiting belief system that has been keeping you shackled and stuck. It is getting absolutely blown apart right now. And whether you perceive yourself as ready or not, this transformation is inevitable. And the cosmic acceleration doesn't stop there. Just 2 days later, on April 25th, Uranus, the planet of radical change, officially enters Gemini for a monumental 7-year transit. This is not just massive, this is a generational shift, a profound recalibration of our collective consciousness, the fundamental ways in which we think, how we communicate our truths, how we learn and absorb information, and how we forge connections with one another. All of it is poised to be revolutionized on an unprecedented scale. So, when we synthesize all these intricate threads, what does it truly mean for you? The Leo first quarter moon on April 23rd essentially functions as the serene eye of this powerful astrological storm. It is the absolute fulcrum point, the delicate balance between the dying echoes of the old world, that which is safe, predictable, and known, and the exhilarating, boundless potential of the new one. And I truly believe, with every fiber of my being, that if you consciously, deliberately, and correctly harness this potent, concentrated energy, you possess the power to catapult yourself into a completely different, higher timeline, altering your destiny in ways you can scarcely imagine. Something profound is about to break free within you and around you, and your ultimate task is simply to allow it. Let's momentarily circle back to that potent Venus-Uranus conjunction, because I anticipate this specific alignment is where the majority of people will experience the most intense, almost visceral shifts. Venus has been gracefully traversing through Taurus, her cherished home sign, for several weeks now. And Taurus, at its core, is all about cultivating stability, seeking profound security, luxuriating in comfort, and thriving on predictability. It is the very sign that yearns for everything to remain steadfast, to be unequivocally safe, to be absolutely guaranteed. But Uranus, the great liberator, cares precisely zero about your carefully constructed comfort zone. Uranus is not here to gently persuade you. Uranus is here to jar you awake, to violently shake things up, to fundamentally liberate you from whatever self-imposed cage you have meticulously built around yourself. Even if that cage is fashioned from the purest, most gleaming gold, and at that critical 29th degree, that cosmic cliff edge, just before both planets make their momentous leap into the fast-moving, intellectually electric, and endlessly curious sign of Gemini. I have an intuitive certainty something in your life is about to irrevocably snap. And honestly, for your soul's evolution, it desperately needs to. Perhaps it's a relationship that has been lingering on life support for far too long, sustained only by inertia and fear. Maybe it's a job that offers a generous salary, but relentlessly drains the very essence of your soul. It could be a living situation that provides a deceptive sense of safety, but feels utterly stifling to your spirit. Or, and this is often the most challenging truth to confront, it might simply be a version of yourself, a carefully constructed persona that you have been performing for so long, so consistently, that you've tragically forgotten it was ever just an act. Whatever it may be, this powerful Venus-Uranus conjunction is divinely designed to blast it wide open, to expose its limitations, and to finally release you. And here's the critical choice point. You can either rigidly resist this inevitable wave of change, allowing it to crash over you in a chaotic, painful, and reactive way, or you can consciously choose to work with this energy, harnessing its immense power and channeling it as pure, unadulterated rocket fuel for your personal ascension. Because the Leo moon, with its radiant glow, is actively calling you to step fearlessly into the spotlight, to claim your inherent power, and to allow your authentic self to be seen in its full glory. But you simply cannot do that if you remain chained, shackled by old patterns and commitments. that demand you perpetually stay small, hidden, and subdued. Does that truth deeply resonate with the quiet whispers of your soul? This potent conjunction culminates at 10 p.m. sharp on April 23rd, just a mere 34 minutes prior to the exact culmination of the first quarter moon. Consequently, the energy pulsating through the atmosphere will be profoundly intense, undeniably electric, and incredibly volatile. You might find yourself experiencing sudden, powerful urges to decisively end things, to finally speak long-suppressed truths that have festered within you, or to make monumental moves you've been absolutely terrified to initiate. And my most earnest advice to you, from the deepest part of my own knowing, is this: listen intently to those urges. Do not dismiss them as random whims or passing frustrations. I believe with unwavering certainty that they are the voice of your soul, finally growing loud enough, insistent enough, to be heard clearly above all the pervasive, paralyzing fear that has sought to silence it. Your heart, in this powerful moment, is screaming for its rightful place on center stage. So, let's take a moment to truly understand Leo, because this moon's placement in Leo is absolutely crucial to effectively harnessing its transformative power. Leo is majestically ruled by the sun itself, the celestial body of life, vitality, and consciousness. Consequently, Leo is the quintessential sign of sovereignty, of bold, creative self-expression, and of unapologetic, radiant authenticity. When the moon resides in Leo, your deepest emotional needs are not met by retreating into the shadows of safety or seeking comfort in the familiar dark. No, your emotional security, your deepest sense of belonging and fulfillment emanates from being fully seen, from fearlessly shining your unique light, from taking up your rightful space in the world, and from owning that magnificent space with absolute confidence and grace. And I profoundly understand that for some of you, that proposition might sound utterly terrifying. We have, for generations, been meticulously taught to be humble, to never be too much, to consciously dim our brilliant light so that others around us don't feel uncomfortable or intimidated, right? But here's the fundamental truth I urgently want you to internalize. That isn't genuine humility. That, my dear one, is a profound act of self-abandonment. And the Leo moon has arrived to serve as a powerful cosmic reminder that you were never, ever meant to be small. You were designed for greatness, for radiance, for impact. Now, there's a truly fascinating degree symbol for this specific moon phase that I find absolutely captivating. It's occurring at 3 degrees and 56 minutes Leo, which, in the mystical Sabian symbol system, is interpreted as the 4th degree. And the evocative symbol for Leo 4 degrees is: a formally dressed elderly man stands near trophies he brought back from a hunting expedition. What profound wisdom does that image convey? It means this isn't about immature ego, superficial posturing, or a desperate, shallow craving for attention. This is about mature mastery, about hard-won wisdom, about a life lived with purpose. It embodies the essence of someone who has journeyed out into the untamed wild, whether that wilderness is the cutthroat business world, the boundless creative realm, or the often treacherous terrain of their own inner psyche, and has not only survived, but has genuinely conquered. Something real, something substantial. And now they stand, not with boastful arrogance, but displaying the tangible proof of that profound victory with quiet, unshakable confidence, a knowing glint in their eyes. That, precisely, is the profound energy we are being asked to embody. This isn't about faking it until you make it, or performing a bravado you don't genuinely feel. This is about stepping forward, centered and grounded, with the irrefutable evidence of your hard-earned growth, your beautifully healed wounds, your undeniable genuine capabilities, and declaring, with quiet power, "Yes, I did that. I faced the storm, I persevered, and I am not going to diminish or pretend I didn't." And if that thought, the thought of openly claiming your achievements, of daring to be truly visible, stirs discomfort within you, if it makes you want to instinctively retreat and hide, then know this: that is precisely why this moon is so profoundly important for you. Because I believe a deep, innate part of you already knows you are ready. You have put in the arduous work. You have unequivocally earned the right to step into the brilliant light of your own making. The only remaining question is, are you finally going to grant yourself the permission to do it? PLA. Move 1. Step out of the shadows and claim visible leadership. All right, let's transition from the celestial blueprint to the tangible, practical application. Here are the 3 bold, audacious moves that I believe possess the power to completely reroute the trajectory of your life, provided you execute them with intention and courage during this incredibly potent lunar window. The very first move is this: you absolutely need to step out of the shadows and courageously claim visible leadership in some significant area of your life. I know that might sound somewhat abstract, so allow me to meticulously break it down. This doesn't necessitate becoming a Fortune 500 CEO, or launching a multi-million-dollar business empire overnight, or even achieving internet stardom. What it unequivocally means is this: wherever you have been deliberately hiding your unique talents, your profound wisdom, your invaluable insights, or your singular perspective, that era ends now. Where have you been instinctively playing small, shrinking your inherent brilliance to fit into others' expectations? Where have you been allowing other people to effortlessly take credit for your groundbreaking ideas, silently seething while your contributions go unacknowledged? Where have you been intentionally staying quiet, suppressing your voice, simply because you didn't want to appear arrogant or intimidating or too much? The Leo first quarter moon is fundamentally a crisis of action. This means you cannot simply intellectualize it. You cannot merely plan to do it eventually or passively wish for it to manifest. You have to actively, concretely move. You have to take that terrifying first step. You have to intentionally put yourself out there in a tangible, undeniably visible way. Perhaps that manifests as finally pitching that passion project you've been meticulously perfecting in the quiet solitude of your private world. Maybe it's courageously posting your deeply personal creative work online, despite the paralyzing terror of potential criticism. It could be speaking up with conviction in that crucial meeting instead of allowing your brilliant ideas to die unspoken in your throat. Or perhaps it's finally asking for the promotion, the substantial raise, the long overdue recognition you've been too afraid, too hesitant to demand. Whatever that bold move looks like for you, know that the very energy of this moon is specifically designed to provide unparalleled support for courageous, heart-centered action. The Sun, in grounded Taurus, desires to ensure that you are building something real, something sustainable, something that will last. The Leo moon, however, demands that you do not build it in secret. It insists that you build it out in the open, for all to see. And here's a profound truth I've personally learned, a realization that was a colossal turning point for me. The universe cannot reward what it cannot see. If you are brilliant solely in private, you will remain stuck, confined, and unrewarded in private. If you are undeniably talented behind closed doors, opportunities, recognition, and abundance simply cannot find you. This isn't about ego-driven narcissism. This is about authentic alignment. You cannot fulfill your unique purpose if you are actively hiding from it. So between now and April 23rd, I earnestly want you to engage in a deep, honest self-inquiry. What is one bold, visible move I could make? One single action that would powerfully position me as the inherent authority I already am deep down. And then, on the 23rd, when that moon energy reaches its magnificent roaring peak, do it. Don't overthink it. Don't second-guess yourself. Don't wait for perfect, pristine conditions that will never arrive. Just move. Take the leap. Move. Move to ruthlessly cut the dead weight from your life. Okay, the second strategic move is, without a doubt, going to be the most challenging one for many of you. But I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe it is the most critically important step you can take. You need to ruthlessly cut the dead weight from your life. And I mean ruthlessly. Remember that explosive Venus-Uranus conjunction happening just moments before the first quarter moon reaches its zenith? That, my friends, is the cosmic scissors. That is the lightning bolt of liberation divinely designed to sever with surgical precision whatever entanglement is keeping you anchored to a version of reality, an outdated narrative, or a stagnant identity that no longer fits the magnificent, evolving being you are becoming. Here's a hard, unvarnished truth. You simply cannot step into unstoppable momentum if you are perpetually dragging around relationships, commitments, habits, or situations that relentlessly drain your vital energy, siphoning off your precious life force. You absolutely cannot. It's akin to trying to run a victorious marathon with a massive boulder chained irrevocably to your ankle. The weight will eventually, inevitably, drag you down. So, I need you to ask yourself, with brutal honesty and unwavering courage, what needs to go? And I truly want you to be unflinchingly honest with yourself here, peeling back the layers of societal expectation and fear. What relationship are you desperately maintaining, purely out of guilt, or a misguided sense of obligation, rather than a genuine, reciprocal connection that nourishes your soul? What job are you clinging to, simply because it offers a semblance of safety or familiarity, even though it is relentlessly crushing your spirit and suffocating your potential? What deeply ingrained habit or limiting belief system are you clinging to, purely because it's familiar and comfortable, even though every fiber of your being knows it is no longer serving your highest good, but actively hindering your growth? The Venus-Uranus conjunction at that explosive 29th degree of Taurus is issuing a direct, uncompromising challenge. It's demanding that you scrutinize your most fundamental values. Not what you've been conditioned to believe you should value, but what you truly, authentically value at your core. And then, with unwavering conviction, align your entire life, every facet of your existence accordingly. And here's a crucial characteristic of Uranus. Uranus doesn't do slow, gentle transitions. Uranus executes sudden, often abrupt breaks, clean, decisive cuts, and immediate, exhilarating liberation. Now, I am emphatically not suggesting you impulsively blow up your entire life in a fit of reactive emotionality. What I am saying is this: if there is something you already, deep in your gut, knows needs to end, needs to be released, needs to be left behind, this is your cosmic green light. If there's a difficult, overdue conversation you've been strategically avoiding, a critical boundary you've been far too scared to courageously set, or a vital truth you've been too polite, too accommodating to speak, April 23rd is when you stop avoiding, stop delaying, and start decisively acting. And yes, it might be profoundly uncomfortable. It might, for a fleeting moment, feel chaotic, even disorienting. But here's what I hold as an unshakable belief: temporary chaos, the brief storm of necessary change, is infinitely better, immeasurably more productive than the slow, soul-crushing death of permanent stagnation. The exquisite discomfort of evolution is always, always superior to the suffocating, silent death of remaining perpetually stuck. Because the Leo moon, with its radiant demands, needs pure, unadulterated fuel to burn brightly. And if all of your precious finite energy is being siphoned off, drained by people, situations, or commitments that simply do not matter, that do not elevate you, then you will have absolutely nothing left, no vital spark remaining, to power your actual heart-driven dreams and aspirations. So understand this. This is your moment to be selfish. in the most profound, life-affirming possible way. This is your sacred opportunity to fiercely protect your energy, to courageously say an emphatic no to anything and anyone that dims your unique light, and to deliberately create the vast expansive space required for what truly, authentically sets your soul ablaze. And if you dare to do this, if you are brave enough to make those necessary, often painful cuts, I guarantee you are going to feel a lightness, a profound sense of liberation that you haven't experienced in years. You're going to look back and wonder, with a sense of awe, why you waited so painstakingly long. And you will discover that you have an abundance of freed up, revitalized energy to pour into what actually, unequivocally, matters to your higher self. Me. 3. Face the power struggle and reclaim your authority. The third move is arguably the most intense, the most demanding, but I truly believe it is the one that ultimately forges you into that unshakable, unstoppable force you are destined to become. You need to face the power struggle head-on and meticulously reclaim your inherent authority from wherever you have been inadvertently or intentionally giving it away. Just 2 days after the exhilarating peak of the first quarter moon, on April 25th, the Sun in grounded Taurus forms an exact, challenging square to Pluto in revolutionary Aquarius. This is not a subtle energy. This is heavy. Pluto is the enigmatic, powerful planet of power, of control, of death, of profound rebirth, and of the deep, often hidden, unconscious realms. When the Sun, representing your conscious self, your ego, your vitality, squares Pluto, it inevitably brings to the surface all the shadow aspects, all the hidden dynamics surrounding power struggles in your life. This might manifest as a direct, undeniable confrontation with someone who has subtly or overtly been attempting to control you, to diminish your worth, or to undermine your capabilities. It might be an authority figure in your professional life, a manipulative family member who has skillfully wielded guilt to control you for years, or a partner who has been subtly, insidiously eroding your self-confidence. Or, and this is often the far more challenging battle to face, it might be your own shadow self. The deeply entrenched part of you that tries to meticulously control every single outcome out of a deep-seated fear of unpredictability. The part that subtly manipulates situations and people because you fundamentally distrust the organic, natural flow of life. The part that desperately clings to power over others because you are secretly terrified of feeling utterly powerless yourself. The Leo first quarter moon, in its radiant essence, acts as the emotional vanguard for this impending confrontation. It is generously imbuing you with the heart-centered courage you desperately need to bravely walk into that transformative fire, to endure the heat of truth, and to emerge utterly transformed, undeniably stronger, and more authentic on the other side. And here's what I believe this looks like in practical, real-world application, when you are challenged during this intensely potent window. And you very probably will genged. You cannot shrink. You cannot abandon yourself. You cannot, under any circumstances, give your power away simply to maintain an illusory, fragile peace. But, and this is equally crucial, you also cannot engage in toxic power games. You cannot meet manipulation with manipulation. You cannot hope to genuinely win by becoming the very thing you are bravely fighting against. This profound moment is about holding your sacred ground from a place of deep, unshakable integrity. It is about knowing your intrinsic worth so completely, so fundamentally, that you no longer require external validation to feel safe, secure, or valuable. It is about being courageously willing to relinquish the approval of others if it means steadfastly preserving your own self-respect, your dignity, and your soul's truth. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. This is intensely hard. This is, without a doubt, one of the most arduous, demanding battles you will ever undertake in your life. because our primordial survival instincts scream at us to submit when we feel threatened, to make ourselves smaller, less conspicuous, when someone attempts to dominate or intimidate us. But the unstoppable version of you, the version that is yearning to fully emerge, that version simply doesn't play that old, fear-driven game anymore. That version intrinsically understands that real power is not about external control. It is about profound self-mastery. It's about remaining centered, grounded, and unyielding in your truth, even when the very ground beneath your feet feels like it's shaking violently. So, when that moment inevitably arrives, and you wills know it when it does, I want you to pause, to breathe, and to remember, with every fiber of your being, who you truly are. Remember what impossible odds you have already survived. Remember what incredible triumphs you have meticulously built, brick by courageous brick. Remember that you do not need to fight for meager scraps of power when you already possess an entire universe of strength, wisdom, and authority within you. And when you hold that sacred line, when you bravely refuse to abandon yourself, something truly incredible, something alchemical, begins to happen. The people and situations that were once attempting to diminish you, to control you, to disempower you, they miraculously lose their power over you. Because you have taken it back, you have integrated it, you have become whole, sovereign, and complete. That is when you become genuinely, absolutely unstoppable. This is your moment to step into who you've always been. Here's the overarching truth, the profound wisdom I truly want you to grasp about this entire intricate cosmic sequence. April 23rd is not just another fleeting day on the calendar. It is not merely another predictable moon phase. I genuinely believe, with every fiber of my being, that this is a definitive threshold moment, a cosmic gateway that once crossed cannot be uncrossed. The old world, the comfort-driven Taurus world of slow, predictable and steady growth, is not just ending, it is rapidly dissolving. The new world, the accelerated Gemini world of rapid innovation, mental revolution, lightning-fast communication, and constant, exhilarating evolution, is not just beginning. It is bursting forth with unstoppable momentum. And you, my friend, are standing precisely at the crossroads, poised between these two unfolding realities. The Leo first quarter moon is gazing directly into your soul, posing the most fundamental question: who do you choose to be in that new, rapidly evolving world? Will you be the person who clung to safety, played it small, and consequently got left behind in the dust of history? Or will you be the courageous individual who seized this unparalleled moment, made the audacious moves demanded of you, and fearlessly stepped into the magnificent totality of your full, sovereign power? Because here's the unvarnished truth. After Uranus makes its momentous entry into Gemini on April 25th, the pace of literally everything is going to accelerate dramatically. Information will move faster than ever before. Technology will evolve at an almost dizzying speed. Opportunities will materialize and vanish in the blink of an eye. And if you are not deeply grounded in who you are, if you haven't firmly claimed your sovereign authority, if you haven't meticulously cleared out all the debilitating dead weight from your life, you are going to get utterly swept away in the ensuing chaos, lost in the overwhelming deluge of change. But if you commit to doing the profound transformative work now, if you courageously execute these three pivotal moves during this intensely potent lunar window, I truly believe you are going to be positioned perfectly, impeccably, to not only ride that incoming wave of change, but to master it, to surf its crest with exhilarating skill instead of drowning beneath its formidable power. You will possess the unshakable confidence required to be visible, to stand out, when unforeseen opportunities brilliantly arise. You will have the boundless, freed-up energy to move quickly, with agility and precision, when new doors miraculously swing open. and you will cultivate an unwavering internal authority, a deep self-trust that will serve as your guiding compass when everything external feels uncertain, volatile, and profoundly unknown. That is what unstoppable truly means. It isn't about never encountering obstacles or never facing challenges. It is about an unwavering, internal knowing that no external obstacle, no setback, no fear can ever truly stop you from becoming the magnificent, powerful being you are inherently meant to be. It's about having such a crystal clear, unshakable connection to your deepest purpose that temporary setbacks or minor detours simply cannot derail you from your destined path. It's about being so profoundly rooted in your own intrinsic worth that external validation, the fickle applause of others, becomes entirely optional instead of an absolute, crippling essential. And I truly believe that profound, unstoppable power is available to you right now, in this very moment. I genuinely do. But it requires a conscious, courageous choice. You have to actively choose it. You have to commit to taking the decisive action. You have to be willing to step boldly into the crucible of this transformative fire and allow it to forge you, to purify you, to harden you into something incomparably stronger, more resilient, and utterly magnificent. April 23rd is your moment. The question that echoes through the cosmos is, are you going to seize it? If you're still here with me, immersed in these words, I want to extend my deepest, most heartfelt gratitude for watching, for listening, for feeling. If this profound message resonated with the deepest part of your soul, and you yearn for more content that ignites your spirit, I would be incredibly grateful if you hit that subscribe button. It helps this message reach more souls than you can possibly imagine. And please, I implore you, drop your personal experiences, your raw feelings, your insights into the comments below. I genuinely want to hear what you've been going through, what's been stirring within you. Have you been feeling this undeniable building energy? Are you ready, truly ready, to make these bold, life-altering moves? What specific challenges or revelations have been surfacing for you? I personally read and absorbed every single comment. And honestly, I believe with every fiber of my being that we are all profoundly in this together on this shared epic journey of transformation. Take exquisite care of yourself. Trust your magnificent innate power. And I will eagerly see you in the next one.